Well, what we've started with is we've found a raised area that sort of fits fairly well with the sort of known location of where the crypt was. So we've got the excavator in to actually just gently take off the topsoil to try and come down on what we call features. So hopefully come down on the collapsed part of the top of the crypt. We know it's collapsed. We know that there was earthworks done here previously where they actually sort of smashed it in a bit and then covered it over with topsoil. So what we're doing at the moment is actually removing that topsoil. And what we have done is we've come down on some pieces of big dressed stone, which, indicative of some kind of built structure. What we're trying to find though is these stones are just found in isolation. They're just sort of not connected to anything. So what we're trying to find is the outline of the actual crypt. So we're hoping to come down on a wall or something like that that's still intact to some extent. It'll probably be smashed to some extent, but if we can come across a wall, then we can follow that along with our excavation. At the moment though, all we're still getting, we've gone down quite deep now with the digger, we're still just getting this rubbly stone. So there are two implications for that. Either, this is the crypt, but it's really been reduced to rubble because we've gone a long way down now and we just haven't found anything that's intact, that's in situ. We've already removed a lot of these stones that were just loose and by themselves on the surface. They weren't connected to anything. What we'd like to do is come down on something built so we can dispense with the digger and then actually do our fine work with the archaeological tools. At the moment though, we really haven't found enough to stop working with the digger. You can see how much material we've moved. If we had to have moved that by hand, that would be a week's work of manual labour rather than a couple of hours with the digger. So it's always a fine balance, and it's always a sort of question of what to do. But you can see how deep we've gone down there, and we have actually found on the left there we've got stones, and where the trench is there were none. So we've actually do have an edge there. So that's tells us that there's something there, but it tells us that whatever's been there is being pretty well disturbed at this stage.